2021, finally here. Who thought would be here anyway? 2020 has been an interesting year for everybody. So, as part of our conversation around taking care of our health, today our focus is on self care. Welcome. This is Blessed Children and Women's Health Awareness Forum, where we talk about matters to your health and everything that concerns your health. So, as part of this, today our focus is on self care. And with us are a number of sisters who are part of this great initiative. And we will, each of us, be having a conversation around what we think and feel self care is about and what it involves. Hopefully, each of us will learn something from each other and we'll be able to practice this through this year. People, self care, what does this mean to you?
I mean, this is a topic, like something I've been questioning recently. Like, what does self-care mean to me? Okay, just because I've been going through emotional instability, I feel like self-care is being being emotionally stable. For example, like a lot of times, just like because of reality and stuff, we're always overwhelming ourselves with like responsibilities and stressing ourselves with like petty issues, even though they're not supposed to, that like they might just be really small, but we try to make them like a big issue, a big deal in our lives, and that's just causes us to, break down or just like to go fall into depression and stuff like that. So yeah, I think self-care, one important tip for self-care is emotional stability. Yeah.
That's true. I agree.
Great.
A lot of times we think it's just about like physically taking care of yourself, but really you can't be like physically well if like mentally and like, psychologically you're not sound. So yeah, it's a very great point there.
I mean, we can
Kathy,
also
what do you
talk
think?
about sleep.
I also think self care is more of listening to your inner self. I always say listen to your body all the time, listen to your feelings all the time. So the moment you understand the tone of your body, the moment you understand the tone of your spirit, you're able, I think it's easier for you to take good care of yourself, to take self care of yourself. So for me, basically, self care means listening to every part of me emotionally, physically, spiritually, just taking keen of what's going on around me and what's happening to me. So, yeah, it's not more of health
Perfect.
or what, but generally listening to yourself. Yeah.
Agree with that completely. That's not like one thing I've thought about because sometimes we tend to ignore what we're feeling, or okay, personally speaking, I'm just the kind of person who just doesn't like to feel emotions, or like I don't like to feel feelings that are uncomfortable. Yeah, so yeah, I think listening to your inner self is great, like the best way to care for yourself. Good point, Kahi.
Great. I agree with all of you. And I think equally self-care involves self-validation, where you do not have to think your worth is based on what someone else feels or thinks about you. And if you can get
Mm-hmm.
that self-acceptance within, then you're actually on the right track. So whether it's about your weight, about what you think, about the stuff you like, it doesn't have to be okay because it's okay with somebody else. But if it's okay with you and it's actually building you and taking you towards the right direction, then you are actually in the right track to towards self-care. I like that you Kahib places the different aspects of self-care, and you're talking about spiritual, physical, emotional,
Mm-hmm.
psychological. All these are different aspects of your health. If you're psychological health is not well put together, then this means your spiritual health is suffering, and then your physical health suffers, because all of them are interconnected. So we fall off balance if we don't have that put together. So this is a very good conversation, because sometimes we tend to think that one side is more important than another, and it's great to see that
Mm-hmm.
we recognize this area. So as part of that, and we're talking about figuring out our balance when it comes to knowing the areas we're lacking in self care. What other habits did you personally have in 2020 that you feel did not serve you, that you'd like to drop in the coming year? And what are the habits that helped each one of you that you think, well, this is something I want to carry forward? Was it seasonal, or do you think this is something you're keeping with you for a lifetime?
That's a really nice question, Jan. I think I can talk about some of the bad habits I had, because for sure in 2020 I had a couple. So I was taking my classes online at home. Yeah, we had remote learning. And so for the most part, I did not have a very good sleeping schedule. Let's say I'd sleep really late into the night, maybe sleep at 3 a.m., finishing problem sets, like an assignment, and then wake up early for my class that starts at 8. And that means during the day I'm tired. And so during the day, I would find myself taking a nap, let's say at 12, right before one other class, and I wake up and my head is aching. And then that just kept happening, this really bad sleeping pattern. So even towards the end of the year, I don't think I was able to correct it, because it's like once it starts, it's like you just go down a rabbit hole and it becomes really difficult for you to stop. So I think one of my big ones is a really bad sleeping schedule. Another one would
No.
be eating habits. I think Ange can attest to this. Yeah. I wouldn't eat regularly. I just maybe I wake up quickly. You just wake up, you go to class, and then I forget to take breakfast. So by the time it's like 2 o'clock, I'm like, let me just grab something. And then you stay in class until nighttime. And then I'd eat at like 10. So maybe I'd have 2 meals a day, and sometimes like maybe one of the meals is just a snack. So I also was not eating very well and wasn't taking care of myself in that way. So that is definitely something I want to leave behind for sure. Yeah.
Great. Ange.
Um, some bad habits. I think okay, personally, I really do not appreciate it when people tell me what to wear or like how to dress and things like that. I don't like it when people put things in my head, in my mind, right? So yeah, because the more people put things, feed you with maybe either positive, what is supposed to be positive, and negative stuff, the more you start doubting yourself. And yeah, that is one thing like I'm trying to, yeah, that's a bad habit I had, and I want to work on. Um, yeah, just trying to always be, what's the word? Just try to always be more appreciative of who you are and like how you, in terms of dressing, like dressing. I would dress up for me, not for anybody else, right? You're not dressing to impress anybody. Well, I'm not dressing to impress anybody. I'm not dressing to impress my mom or my friend or my coworker or some other person I meet on the street. No, I'm dressing up for myself because I like how I look and I like to look the way I look, Like dressing up is an art. This is something people don't really understand. It's an art. The more you shop online, the more artsy you look. So yeah, this is a habit. This is was a bad. Yeah, this is a habit I want to develop in the coming year. So yeah.
Kahi, any
That is a
thoughts on
good.
that?
Okay. What do I want to leave behind in 2020? Okay. I think Ange and Eugene have spotted out like some of the things I also want to live in 2020, like sleeping habits and eating habits. About sleeping habits, I really want to like have, if I say I'm going to sleep at this time, that's the time that I'm going to sleep. So it's something that I really want to develop this coming 2020. Then about eating habits, oh my God, I really need to stop craving for sugars. To be honest, it's been crazy and it's affecting me, and I know it will affect me because whatever I'm doing in my life right now, it involves my physical body, my external and internal body. So I really need to take good care of myself, and I really need to get rid of sugars. That is for sure. If not at all, minimize. It's something I'm really trying to do. It doesn't mean because I'm small bodied that sugar doesn't affect me, because I wouldn't be worried that I'll add weight or something like that. But it's something I really need to stop. Something else that I really need to stop, I really need to stop doubting myself, because in the career I'm in right now, it really needs confidence out there. So one thing that made me not to always doubt myself, I always thought I'm not perfect, so much insecurities. I do makeup artistry, so and skincare. And also an esthetician. So when you talk to somebody, someone looks at you and they see you have acne and all those kind of things, it's something that really brought me down. But with time, it's something that I'm starting to appreciate, that yes, my face is not as perfect as it's supposed to be, but you know what, I'm going to appreciate it as it is and work hard to like get rid of it if they'll get rid of it. Apart from that, generally, just to have confidence in myself this 2020, that 2021, sorry, that I'm really the perfect for who I am, not for who people see me to be. So yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. It's important for us
Damn.
to self-confidence in ourselves and just know that we are enough in who we are, but also to
Mm-hmm.
be very conscious of habits or things that do not serve us, and be very honest with ourselves, because part of self-care is equal to knowing who you are, what habits do not serve you, and developing better habits that grow you as a person. So when it comes to, self honesty, it's not just about saying, okay, this is who I am, and so I don't care about anything else. But if something is not serving you, then that's going to destroy you, and that's not part of self care. I think also 2020 has seen most of us either work from home or, lose our jobs, something of the sort. And we are spending so much time in the house. Some of us have had enough sleeping time, and like many of us have said, eating, so we sort of need to keep a balance. Do some cardio, some sort of exercise. It doesn't have to be so difficult. Take a couple of walks. I know some of my friends have been on my case to, take walks. I think intentionally now, trying my best, if I want to go to the shop, to go to the farthest shop for me. This way I take, a couple of steps, and I think I've got an app on my phone that tracks the number of steps I take, and that sort of encourages me to, take those walks. Um as part of, your personal health goals, just have that kind of thing. And another thing I'd like to encourage, I think, there's this great workshop that is done by an organization called Vital Voices. It's based in the US, and one of the trainers in this program is called Zoe Dean Smith. She does a session called Holistic Life Map, and I think it really ties very well into self-care when you're talking about holistic life map, and it brings various aspects of self-care. You're talking about your health and your wellness, you're talking about your spirituality and your faith, where you are now, where do you want to go, um, and being very honest with yourself, taking some time for adventure and fun, because sometimes you tend to postpone certain things to when, when I get there, I will be happy when I get to a certain point. And honestly, we're realizing there's no when we are getting there. You're either there or you're not. But we need to appreciate the small steps we make in life every day, because the truth is, there is no assurance of tomorrow. So you might spend so much time into your career or your school, but 2020 has given us the real deal, you know. You spent a whole year planning for this is the year I'm gonna do this, and then smack, you're not traveling, you're not doing that, you're not doing the other, and then suddenly you're trying to remember which of your old friends did you know you want to, you know, suddenly start keeping up with conversations. So keep up with your friends, keep up with your family, they're important people um, that you want to have around you all the time. Know who your friends are, learn to say no. I think this is something I have learned this year, and not feel guilty about it. I am saying no to things that are not serving me, saying no to doing people favors anymore if it's taking up my time. Because at the end of the day, I'm thinking, yo, this is time I could be using to either learn a skill, you know, or, you know, earn some money. If I want to earn some money, of course, everybody needs to earn some money at some point, or even sleep, because probably I spent the entire night working, so I need time to get to sleep. So I'm learning to say no and not feel guilty for saying no. And especially for women, we tend to feel guilty about saying no to things. You being asked, could you do this thing? And then you are guilt tripped into doing something. So this is very important for us to, you know, put at the back of our mind. Also, knowing your self-worth, you know, when it comes to your career, is putting your price on the table and being okay with people walking away from it because they cannot afford it. It has nothing to do with you, but more to do with them. This way, you don't end up doing so much work that eventually is not compensated. Because at the end of the day, you know, people come to you because you have a skill. So this skill needs to be taken care of. You need to, you know, pay your staff. When it comes to career and business, pick up various skills and don't be so glued and stuck onto one area. It's not gonna serve you. We've been out here for a couple of years now. I can tell you for a fact, my, you know, my academic um building, or the space in which I grew within my academics, is not the area that I practice professionally. So you find um, as many things that would really serve you and equally pay it forward. Take care of your planet, be involved, know what's happening in your politics, just be a better person, be a better neighbor, and love you for who exactly you are. And like I said before, do not seek external validation. It's nice to hear that from people, but equally, because you know it's nice to hear validation from others, I'd say learn to give people compliments and be genuine about it. If I think you have a nice scarf, you got a nice haircut, just tell people that you like that about them, and let people feel happy about it without expecting anything back. And I think the last thing I learned between 2019 and 2020 has been not to expect so much from people. If you live your life with too much expectations, um, it could really break you when they have not met the expectations. So learn to do what is good for you, what is good for others, and walk away knowing that you have done that which is good. So thank you so much for joining us for this session. We hope to see you in many, many other conversations. So, team, does anyone have a takeaway, a closing line, whatever it is?
I think we touched on most of the important self-care tips. So yeah, have a blessed 2021, everybody.
Yes, here's to a great 2021 of loving and caring for yourself and living a healthy, sustainable life.
See you next time on BCWH.
Bye.